Good morning, everybody. I hope you're doing good. It's your girl Seeker in the house, and I just wanted to say hello to everyone um, and share a few thoughts with amazing people on this platform. I know it's been quite a long time. I've been coming and not coming back several times, but I just wanted you to know I'm still very much alive and well. I'm here and I love you all so much. And so good morning to everybody. I trust that everybody who is here is doing amazing and life is good. Now, part of the reason why I seem to have gone a little bit quiet is that life happens to the best of us. We all go through the good times and the not so good times. And, as a person, you always have to ensure that you're fortified enough to be able to deal with the constraints that you have to deal with. It's life. It happens to all of us, whether you like it or you don't like it. Now, in recent times, part of the reason why I have been quiet is because there's been a lot of loss around me and loss of people that in my mind relatively young. So people that are my age or thereabouts, not too much older, or some of them are even younger than I am. So people are in their 40s and early 50s or late 30s, and they're dropping dead, every single time. You turn around and it's this one. Tomorrow there's another one about something. And it hits you in a whole other way. You kind of think about it and you are like, this could very much be me. Like, it's only for the grace of God that I'm still here. What is so special about me that keeps me here and other people are not so fortunate to be able to be here like I am? And the underlying cause of a lot of the things that are taking people out before their time is that we've become so busy that we don't take the time to take care of ourselves. We don't take the time to take care of our wellness. We just live life and expect that somehow, by some miracle, we would be able to survive. The best of the best of the best of things will happen to us. But unless you're intentional about your life, unless you're intentional about the way you do things, you might not experience that longevity that you're looking for. Just bear with me a second. And so it's important to all of us that we pay attention to our lives and the way things are going, and we do things that are going to help us to have better prognosis. For some funny reason today, I can't see anybody on the live video. Unless you say hello, I won't see you. And so please, if you're here and you can hear me, a love heart would go a long way. Then I can know that I'm actually talking to people in real time, because I can't see anything. There's no love hearts. There's no engagement. There's nothing. If you're here and you can hear me, please, a love heart would be very nice. When I see them pop up my screen, then I know that there are people here that I'm actually speaking to. And so in this life, unless you're intentional about the way that you're choosing to live the life, you're not going to have the prognosis that you're expecting to get. Like, not doing anything doesn't guarantee that you're going to have the outcomes that you're desiring. You have to make an effort in order to get the desired results. What do I mean by this? Whether we like it or not, we live in a very different set of circumstances to the circumstances that our parents and grandparents had. That's just the truth. Today, more than ever, the foods that we are eating are so artificial. If you live in North America, the foods that are here, they don't even taste like food. We are just eating something that looks like food, but isn't really food. They've sprayed it with all kinds of things. The food engineering, yeah, it's exciting. It's science. It's helping. There's an ever-growing population. Everybody needs to be fed. I get that. But the consequences of all of those things is that we're eating engineered food that is not wholesome for our bodies. That is the first thing. Number two thing is that because of the stresses of life today, as opposed to back then, and I'm not saying they didn't have their own set of stresses, they did. But today, the sorts of stresses that we are being subjected to is crazy. And because of that, the body is going through a lot of oxidative stress. Like we're hitting the stresses from not eating good food or wholesome food. We're facing the stresses of general life, whether it's relationships, whether it's marriage, whether it's your children, whether it's finances, whether it's work related. And all of these things have jumbled up into one huge ball of fire that is burning us on different levels. We all have our own sets of challenges. They may all be different, but different challenges nonetheless. They all have the word challenge at the end of it. And all of these things are affecting all of us in different kinds of ways. Now, depending on where you live in the world, there's also a lot of pollution and toxicity just out there. All you have to do is pop outside and you're dealing with it. If you live in a huge city where most people drive around and there's so much exhaust fumes and all of those things in the air, they are all there and they are affecting us on a daily basis. The things that we are dealing with as humans is more rampant now, more than ever. I look at this generation that I am a part of, and I cry for my nieces and nephews and their generation. What is going to be left behind after this generation has left? How are our children and our grandchildren going to survive when it's this hard for us in this dispensation at this time to be able to cope with the things that are happening? We're in a time that is very uncertain. We came off the back of COVID thinking life was going to be easier, things were going to be better, but the last 6 years have been nothing short of complete chaos on the back of COVID. 2025 for me and for a lot of people has ended up being the worst year ever in the last 6 years. Why? Because, there's this whole world something that is happening. There is this air and aura that is blowing around all of us with so much uncertainty. There are world trade tariffs going here. There are wars that are being fought that are pointless. There are all kinds of things that are happening. And we as humans, we're just sitting around, just dancing in the whole thing. And other people at the stroke of a pen are making life transformational decisions about how our lives are going to be. Like there's no other time than this time. The most stressful and difficult situation that most of us are dealing with on different levels in different parts of this life. But at the same time, you have to take that responsibility of being an active participant in what is happening. You can choose to sit and fold your arms and say, well, there's nothing I can do. It's a global issue and what can I do about it? Or how is this any of my business? And just because things seem to be okay around you, you don't care about what is happening out there, like what other people have to deal with, or what's, is in your external domain that you may not have some or any level of control over. But the truth about it is that whether you like it or not, all those things are having an impact on you as a human being. And so therefore, it falls to you as a person to be proactive and do the necessary things that you need to do yourself to fortify you, to be able to withstand the stresses and strains that are going on, to have better prognosis. What can I do? I have all these situations that I'm being faced with on a daily basis. What can I do about them? Some of the things you have control over, you might be able to do things differently. Other things you don't have any control over, so you just have to accept what is going on, it seems. But one of the biggest things, and I was having this conversation with a friend of mine just 2 nights ago, and we were saying, we're all in our 40s and, thereabouts now, and all the people that we know, that we either went to school at some point with or became our friends at some point or along that line, have all been dealing with one issue. If it's not divorce that they're divorcing, it's something to do with their children. Some of them are not married and wish they could get married. Some people want to have children and they can't have them, and that is their preoccupation. Some people want to get married and they haven't found anybody and they're so upset about that. Other people have the husband and the children, and now they wish they never had the husband and the children. They wish they could be single, like me, once again. There's so much that is happening out there. And all of these things are having their effects on people. Then you come to the workspace. You're an employee, you work for a company, you feel like you're not getting the recognition for all the hard work that you do. You're being paid a fixed salary. It's not getting you anywhere. You're not making any advances in your career, and you're asking, what can I do? Maybe I should start my own business. You're starting this own business of yours, and that is not doing great either, because the beginning of everything is complicated and difficult. And it takes the people that have the grit to work through it to get to that expected end. Then you have your aging parents that you also have to be responsible for. They helped you grow your teeth, and now they're losing theirs, and you have to support them in one way or another. Like, the stresses and strains on life right now is so difficult, and I get that. There's so many of us that are in our 30s and 40s, and we're already on some kinds of medications that we never thought we could be on. Blood pressure medication, elevated sugar medication, cholesterol medication, medication for all kinds of things that seemingly put a band-aid on the situation, but you still are dealing with the aftermaths of what you're taking, and it's not helping you. It just feels like you're in this existence, and all the powers that be and the control seems to be in the hands of everybody else, but you that is dealing with the issue or the issues that you're faced with. And so the $1 million question is, so what can I do myself about these things to minimize the impacts of all of the things that we're talking about here this mid-morning on myself, on my body? Because there's so many people I know that are 40s like me, but I look at them and they look like my mom in her 70s, because the problems have led to them aging. The aging is telling on them. And I know that aging is going to come to all of us. I didn't look like this 20 years ago. I hope that 20 years from now, I still look the same, but maybe that is me living in a fool's paradise. But the point I'm making here is that even though old age is going to come to the best of us, you have control over the rate of decline and how, you're still able to do things into your later years of your life, all dependent on the things and the decisions that you choose to make today. I always make this analogy about having a farm, planting all kinds of crops in there. As long as there are no weeds that are up there in and amongst your crops are doing well because the soil is well fertilized. There are lots of nutrients in there. And so your plants are feeding properly. They're getting the sunshine, the water, the nourishment from the soil by their roots. Photosynthesis is happening. Your crops are doing very well. And you're very excited because you know that come harvest time, you're going to do very well. The crops are going to give a bumper harvest and life is going to be good. You can sell your food to whoever you sell it to, and you're going to make what you deserve out of all of that hard work and labor. Very good. However, if you don't or are unable to control the weeds that come into your space, The weeds now are stifling on the nutrients that your plant should have. And so the plants are not doing so well. The weeds are doing fantastic, but your original crops, they're not doing so well because they're stifling all the nourishment that was meant for your plants and doing well with that. If you get so mad and you just go with a cutlass and you just go, taking all the weeds out by virtue of what you can see. Yeah, temporarily, it may seem like you're doing work and you might be excited for 5 minutes because you can't see the weeds no more. But let it rain overnight and the next morning or a few days later, the weeds will be back alive again with a bigger vengeance than what they had before. Why? Because you haven't tackled the issue by the roots. You haven't taken the roots of your weeds out because that's where the decisions are being made. If you pull out the weeds from the roots, then you uproot everything and they're not able to grow back. If you don't, then your weeds will be back in a few days. Just all it needs is a bit of rain and sunlight and the nourishment will still be taken from your darling crops and the weeds are back. What am I saying? If you want to address issues and have permanent solutions to them, it falls to you to dig from the root causes of your problem and solving them on a root level. If you can't address the issue from the very fundamentals of the problem and you just keep putting band-aids on the issue, you're not addressing it. It's almost like, well, I know you're there, but I'm going to keep you quiet. If I put plaster across your mouth, you can't speak anymore. Nobody can hear you. And so that's what we're going to do. But if you're able to deal with the issue from the root causes of the problem and tackle it from that level, you might have better outcomes. We're all walking around. Some of us have issues that we don't want anybody to know about, so we don't talk about them. Some of us have a big gob and we tell everybody whatever is happening to us. My health issues are not a secret on social media. If you've been here for any length of time, you know some of them, or a great load of them that has been wrong with me over the years. Now, every time I find something that is helpful, it falls to me to share whatever it is that I've discovered with those who will listen, those who would like to do the same thing, those who would like to take on the information that I've given and look into it for themselves. You may choose to do it or not do it. Hey, it doesn't take any skin off my teeth. But as a person that cares about other people, it falls to me to ensure that the people that I know and love and care about, my social media family, you find out about what I'm doing and why I am doing it, so that people can make informed decisions for themselves about what they want to do. Now, I've been here for quite a bit of time when I've been speaking about redox signaling molecules, and I'm going to continue raving and ranting about them into the future, into perpetuity. As long as it's available, I will talk about that because it's done so much for me. My life has been completely transformed. Things that I never thought I would see the end of, I am seeing that they're being resolved on a regular basis. I have been through the orthodox conventional way of doing things for 3 decades and some. And all that was happening was that band-aids were being put on my issues to try to give me some kind of coping mechanism to try to survive. And I would never knock the conventional way of doing things, because it has saved my life on more than one occasion. I have people that I love that do that for their daily bread. And so I have nothing bad to say about them. But all I am saying is that there are several ways to skin a cat. That is not the only way. And that is not the most effective way of doing things. Because you see, when you want to address an issue, you want to tackle it from the root causes and not leave any residual issues on the back of that first issue that you were trying to deal with. I'll give an example. Everybody on this platform, unless you're new, knows that Sika has had polycystic ovarian syndrome for over 30 years. 33 years I've had that issue. And I've been battling it ever since I was 12 years old. It's not a secret. If you don't know, I'm telling you. But it's not a secret. That, coupled with all other kinds of issues I have been grappling with over that whole time. Now, for the most part of that time, it was the conventional way of doing things that was the approach that was recommended that I go through. And believe you me, I have been there, done that, worn the t-shirt. I'm not a medic. I'm not a doctor. I don't have any doctoral qualifications. I'm not a general practitioner. I'm nothing like that. But because of the issues that I had, I became an enthusiast about knowing about wellness. And so I'm well read. I know what is happening. At least to me. And a lot of the issues that I have, oh yeah, I think I deserve a doctoral degree from it just by learning things from myself, my own experiences, and the things that I've been exposed to over the course of my life. Because everything that I was looking into was to help me to be able to deal with the issues that I've had to grapple with over the years. And now, sitting here in my 40s, I can tell you that it's not been a smooth sailing journey. It hasn't been. It's been difficult. It's been rough. There have been days when I just wanted to throw in the towel and just give up and just say, you know what, I'm just done. I'm done. I can't do this anymore. But somehow, some way, somehow, I still find purpose and a reason to keep going. Now, why am I raving so much about it? What at all is this redox thing that Sika is always at every opportunity talking about and always going over on and on and on about? You see, the reason why I talk about it with so much passion is this. Redox is already inside of every single one of us. If you're here and you're listening to me, you have redox signaling molecules already alive inside of you. If you're admitting that you're a living thing, that you can breathe, you can hear me, you can speak, you can see, you can hear, you have a nose that you can blow, you have a nose that is able to take in oxygen and bring out carbon dioxide, then you have redox signaling molecules, whether you believe me or not, that is inside of your body right now as you're listening to me. Now, the redox is inside of your cells. All of us as human beings have trillions and trillions of cells that are inside our bodies. The cells make up the different organs that make up the systems that make us as human beings. For example, your respiratory system would have your nose, your throat, your trachea, and all of those, your lungs, and all of that, making your respiratory system. Your reproductive system, if you're a woman, would have your vagina, your cervix, your fallopian tubes, your ovaries, your uterus, all of that, forming your reproductive system. If you have digestive system, you have your pancreas, you have your stomach, you have your mouth, and all the secretions and all the things that need to take place for you to be able to digest food, being part of your digestive system. On and on and on and on. And so the cells make up the organs of your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your ear, your hair, are all made up of cells, trillions of them. Now, in each of these cells is something called the mitochondrion, and the function of that is to make redox signaling molecules that are inside of your body because you have cells in your body. What does redox signaling molecules do inside of your body? The fact about it is that the different cells that make up the different organs in your body, the organs or the cells in the different organs need to be able to communicate and signal to each other Imagine that there was no coordination in how your body moved or how things happen in your body. And the same time that you're sneezing, you're trying to eat food at the same time, you're trying to talk at the same time and take a step and walk at the same time. It's not going to happen. There has to be some kind of coordination of things. Okay, I'm eating, so the food first. So everything else waits. The food needs to go in my mouth. I need to chew it. I need to swallow it. And whilst I'm swallowing, every other thing that is around that needs to be shut. So food doesn't end up going in the wrong hole. That would cause issues. Now, redox signaling molecules helps in that messaging, that communication about what happens in the different organs in your body so that you're able to be more regulated and do things in a systematic order so that nothing untoward happens to you. But sadly, the fact about life is that when you're a baby, you're just freshly born into this world. You know, you've been in your mom's belly all that time, being surrounded by all the fluids and all of those things to protect you. However, once you were born, you're into this world and your cells are producing the redox and helping your body to be able to fight everything that needs to be fought off by itself. However, as you continue to age, especially when you hit puberty, because by that time, there is so much that is being required of this same body of yours to do. Your muscles are trying to grow. You're trying to digest food. You're talking, you're walking. You have to go to school. Now you're hitting puberty. Your body is changing. If you're a man, your voice is breaking. All those, teenage things are happening to you. If you're a woman in adolescence, there's so much that is happening. Your boobs are growing, your body is changing, your menstrual cycle, all of those things are happening. But sadly, once you hit those ages, the amount of redox that your body is making starts to decline at a rate of minimum 1% per year. And so let's say you have, for argument's sake, this level of redox in your body when you're a teenager. By the time you're in your 20s, it's down 10%, 30s, 40s, 50s, and it just keeps declining until you're not here anymore. The day you shut your eyes and stop breathing, the day you pass on, you don't have no redox left. You're dead. It's done, because redox thrives in living things. Once you're deceased, you don't have no redox in you anymore. So why do I need to ingest redox if I already have it inside of me and it's working? Reason is simple. You're getting older in age and your redox is declining. The less redox you have, the less your body is able to ward off all the things that you are being subjected to. You might be fine in your 20s. I was perfectly fine in my 20s, apart from this gynecological mishap that was happening. But I didn't have no blood pressure. I didn't have no elevated blood sugar. I didn't have anything to do with cholesterol. I was fine. I had enough redox to do that. But for many people now, when you're in your 40s, I'm sure there's so many of you that are listening to me today. You don't want anybody to know, but you're on blood pressure medication in your 40s and 30s. You're taking elevated blood sugar medication that you don't want anybody to know about. So you're secretly, either injecting yourself with insulin on a daily basis, sometimes several times a day, or you're taking metformin quietly and trying to do that to regulate your sugars. Maybe you have cholesterol issues, so you're taking, cholesterol stuff to try to sort that issue out. And I will never knock that. I've said it again. I'm going to say it again. I'm not a doctor. And so I have no rights to prescribe or not prescribe anything to you. And so I have nothing to do with that. But what I am saying to you, though, is that if you can address the cellular health of your persona, every other issue that is wrong with you that you need addressing to can also be addressed. Because like the plants, if we take the weeds out And so there's enough nourishment to go around. Our plants are doing well. They're doing much better. They flourish. When your cells are well, you're well. Because all of your organs are going to be well naturally because the cells make up the organs. So if the cells in my eyes are all sharp, they can communicate effectively to each other. They can signal. If they see that there's something that is coming in this eye, it's going to affect Sika's, left eye. She's not going to be able to see in it very quickly. The cells go into motion and they address the issue that is going to be causing blindness and tackle it and deal with it. If some cells are so badly deformed or whatever that they are no good to me anymore, those cells will be flushed out and new cells will be made in its place. God, in his infinite wisdom, made us human beings to take dominion over this planet called Earth and subdue everything that is under it or under the heavens on or under our feet. The reason why we are not able to do that is because the wellness, our wellness, the things that we need to be able to be strong, to be fortified, we're not doing them. And we're not helping our planet. And so unfortunately, the amounts of redox that we have in us continues to decline. It falls to you, therefore, to take more of the signaling molecules. Supplement what your body is making with more of the same so that your body can do what it was made to be able to do. God never intended for us to rely on, the conventional things that you and I are living off of. Always popping these things like there's no tomorrow. God never intended for us to live that kind of life. He wanted us to be free. He wanted our bodies to be self-healing. He wanted us to be able to live and thrive and have our being and take dominion of this place that he's given to us. We can't do any of those things when we are not in good wellness. That's just the truth. And if you've had any kind of major challenge with your wellness, you would understand just how debilitating it is when you're not feeling well. Because as soon as things happen to you, it's like your life has come to a complete standstill. And I was listening to a Redox conference the other day and listening to somebody's story. And, unless you are a robot and you don't have any feelings, this would not bring tears to your eyes. But imagine that there's a young bloke that has his whole life ahead of him. And then something catastrophic happens. He has some kind of an accident. And then now he is bedridden completely. He can't move his limbs. He can't do nothing. And then the conventional people tell him, well, let's just thank God you're alive. We've tried everything. There's nothing more we can do for you. So this is going to be your new normal. And you have to understand it, be grateful that you're still alive, but hey, you're going to be bedridden for the rest of your life. How would you feel? But this person and the grandmother persevered. And she kept giving her grandson the redox signaling molecules day after day, week after week, month after month. This thing was slowly dealing with the issue from the roots of the problem. Do you know that one day, some nice few years later, this guy went from being completely bedridden to one day, in one fell swoop, go from being unable to move his limb to standing on his feet. Within a week, this guy is able to sit behind the steering wheel and drive a car, because the things that are required for him to be able to address the issues from the root causes have been given to him. I've seen people and heard testimonies about people who were paralyzed on one side of their body, unable to move, unable to do anything. There was this elderly guy. He couldn't walk. He couldn't go to church. He couldn't get out of his house, period. Because he's in his 60s, because you're in your 50s, because you're in your early 70s. It's like a life sentence. You have to survive on that. But this guy said, well, I've got nothing else to lose. I'm on all of this stuff and I know, the extent to which it can help me, which is, well, I still can't get out. So I might as well try this. I'll try anything to see what happens. And from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, for the first time in 3 years, this guy was able to get up from his bed, get into a vehicle and take himself to church for the first time in 3 years and come back. And everybody's so excited to see him. Where have you been? We thought you traveled abroad. Oh my God, you were here the whole time? And now he can't shut up about it. Everybody that will listen, he will tell. Now, I would share my own personal experience with Redox. When I started, it was 2.5 years ago in 2022 when Redox was brought to me. And at that time, I was going in for my 17th surgery. It's something that had happened, a mishap on the back of the vaccines that we had back in the day. If you remember, in the last 4 or 5 years, we were all made to have a particular vaccine. And I had a mishap on the back of that caused me some issues, gynecological issues. That meant that I was having intermittent bleeding for 1.5 years, non-stop. It just felt like I was on a menstrual thing for 1.5 years, and I would have a 5 days, a 2-day break, 4 days, a 3-day break, 6 days, a 2-day break. And that was my life for 1.5 years. I thought I was going to lose my mind. And the pain that came with that thing was insane. I can't describe it. I can't sit down. I can't lay down. I can't walk. I don't know what to do with myself. The whole time I would sit here and I was still doing videos. But in my quiet moments, I knew what I had to grapple with. And I got to a point where none of the painkillers that I was being given was touching. It wasn't doing anything. And yet I was still suffering. And so at that point, when I was about to go in to have this 17th operation done, to me, it was like, I don't care. I don't care. I'm going to do this and get rid of that issue. But I'm also going to deal with this Redox thing because now I'm desperate. I would do anything to stop this discomfort that I'm feeling is what I'm going to do. And so I did. I had my 17th surgery. I came back home. I was told it was going to take me 4 weeks to recover. 10 days on being on Redox, I was back at work. I was able to work. I didn't need no more time off. I was back at work. Now, anybody who knows me well knows that I've had a whole mirage of issues, a whole truckload of medical or health challenges. Everybody that knows me knows this. Apart from this polycystic ovaries thing, I also had migraines. Every single time I had to have my menstrual cycle, it has to be with a migraine. Sometimes the migraine would be the thing that actually tells me it's the time. And so this migraine would start with no warning. I could be in a meeting like we're talking now, and then all of a sudden you would see that I've gone quiet because I have this aura with these jagged wavy lines that only I can see. When I say it to people, people think I'm crazy, but it's there. I can see them. And then within a few minutes, my tongue feels like there's a truck in my mouth. I can't talk. And then following with this huge banging headache. And it could go on for days. My vision is gone. I can't see anything. Everything just looks pitch black when I open my eyes. This was my life before. And so I was taking Redox expecting that there would be a miracle with the polycystic ovarian thing, because that was the main issue that I was focused on, forgetting about all the other things that were also equally as serious. But that was my focus. I wanted to see something happen with that. And so I started ingesting the Redox. I remember starting November of 2022. The first thing that I saw was that in 10 days I felt better and I went back to work instead of the 4 weeks that I had been told. I had cut my time by more than half and I was back at work after 10 days. That was the first thing. The second thing I began to notice was that the migraines were not as frequent as they used to be. And even when they did come on, the effects that I had were starting to become milder. So a migraine that could take me 3 to 5 to 7 days in bed, no light, just total darkness, no talking to anybody, no sound, no nothing. Now, all of a sudden, I would have an attack and a day or two later, it's mild enough that I can literally do what I need to do. So I noticed that. And then the joint issues that I was having, because I have been diagnosed with acute osteoarthritis. Everything from my belly button down to my feet. It's almost bone on bone, especially my knee, my hip, and my foot, like my ankle. The bones are literally rubbing one on top of the other, and it hurt and stung like a bee. I live in Calgary. And at the worst or the peak of the winters, it can be minus 40s in degrees Celsius. So imagine that you have issues to do with your lower limbs and your joints. And when it hits the height of the winter, December, January, and February, there can be a week, 2 or 3 weeks when the temperature is between minus 30 and minus 42. I think I've recorded minus 45 once in Calgary. It is not funny. When you step outside for a few seconds, the tears that come out of your eyes, it freezes automatically. You literally, blinking very quickly to keep your eyeballs open. It's not funny. It's like your ears are being cut off. You can't feel them anymore. And so that kind of discomfort was very painful for me to be able to deal with. But nonetheless, I continue to persevere. And on the course of taking this Redox through that winter into the next spring, I wasn't taking that many painkillers anymore. I was very mobile. I didn't need no crutches, no aid to move around. Like I was fine. I could get out there and not be afraid. That was thing number 2 that I began to witness. The main reason why I went into Redox, the thing that I was fixated on, it took a longer time. But with the changes that I was already seeing and understanding that you need to tackle issues from the roots, I understood and I didn't care how long it took. As long as there was improvement, I didn't care. You see, a lot of us are in this microwave life where we want everything yesterday. Some people will contact me and they want to hear more about Redox. We have the whole conversation and everything. And yes, they're so excited. But I keep on saying that you need to understand that this thing is tackling your issue from the roots. If you're looking for a miracle solution, keep on popping your pills because that's the miracle there. It's the Band-Aid. This is no magical something. It's not some, mystic something. This is scientifically proven. It's a scientific biotech product. And so it's not, some mystical divination kind of thing where, droplets of something fall from heaven and it touches your body and then you have this euphoria and you're healed. No. This is addressing your issues that are inside of you from the roots of the problem. And those of you who are into herbal medicine in Ghana, it's called a bibidro. A lot of people do it. Understand that you won't take one spoonful of a bibidro and expect that tomorrow it's addressed your problem and you're walking out there and there's no issue. You take your time. I know people who have been on herbal medicine for 2, 3, 5 years in order for the issues to be addressed. Why? Because equally, some of those things have to get to the root causes of your issue to address them. But we're more than happy to do that. We're more than happy to go the orthodox way and be put on things that we are meant to be ingesting for life, and we don't complain about that. We take it gladly. When you go to see your practitioner and they tell you that, well, unfortunately, you have yada, 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 and you have to take ABC, do you complain? No, you don't. You just accept it with a smile on your face, even when you're hurting inside, because you know that this thing is going to address problem A, but it's going to bring problem C, D, E, F, G in its place. Now I have to take something else from those other challenges, but because it was prescribed and you have to go to a pharmacy to get it, a lot of us just shut up and we go do it. We don't ask no questions. We don't even ask our doctor whether the thing that is being prescribed for us is actually good for us. Because what is good for Mr. A would not necessarily be good for B, because we are all different. Genotype, different. Blood group, different. The way your cells are at, different. Everything is different about us, but we have put all of our faith into those people, believing that they are the only ones that are ordained to bring life into this body. But can I shock you that much as they have the intelligence, much as they are trained, much as they have the know-how to be able to deal with issues, especially emergency situations, I take my hat off to them any day, because I know what it means. I have had anaphylaxis, not once, not twice. I carry an EpiPen all the time because this is what is going to make sure that I stay alive. So I understand. But having said that, orthodox way of doing things is not the only way. This is my EpiPen. Okay? I have it. I know. But it's not the only way. It's not. That's just the truth. We can't live a life where we say, this is the only way and there's no other way. And if you are closed-minded and you're not prepared to open up your mind to other things that are helpful, then you're not being sensible. I don't know which other way to say this without upsetting anybody, but it's the truth. If you want to survive on this surface of this planet, having an open mind about life is a sure way to do things. If you're close-minded, it's my way or the highway, there's no other way, it has to be my way, you're going to miss out on a lot of things. You're going to miss out on a whole lot of things because you've decided that it is only one way to heaven and that is it. And so if it's not that way, then I'm not interested. Well, it's okay. You deal with your stuff however way you want to, but I'm just talking about what's worked for me. For those who are open-minded, for those who want to explore other things to see what works, to work. If I show you my medicine box, the things that I used to be on, oh my goodness. I look at them sometimes and I marvel, like I was taking all of this. I mean, forget about the multivitamin supplements. Those are good for you. Let's put that to one side. I'm talking about the other stuff. This is for preventative measures because in an anaphylaxis situation, this is the lifesaver. I applaud, science and medicine for having something like this. If you suffer a stroke or a heart attack, of course, call an ambulance. They're the only ones that can give you that, prognosis of staying alive. But I'm saying that when you have chronic issues, be it, joint inflammation and things, the osteoarthritis and the other things that I was talking about, you have elevated blood sugar, elevated blood pressure, elevated cholesterol, all kinds of things happening to you, digestive related issues. Honey, it falls to you ultimately to address your problem, because the medic that is out there may love you, but at the end of the day, you have to live your life. The pain, the discomfort, all of those things that was happening to me, I had to live that life, not my family doctor, much as I love him and he loves me. No, it falls to me to address my issue and live with the consequences of that decision. He can advise me, I think that this is going to be good for you. Go take this and let's see what happens. Go take this test and let's see what happens. But I ultimately, informed with what the information that he's given me, I have to decide what I'm going to do. It's my body. It's your body at the end of the day. And if you make the wrong choice, you live the consequences of that choice. So all I'm saying this morning is that, yes, I know we all have our family, doctors that we have entrusted our lives to. We trust them. We believe them to do what is best for us. But any good doctor will tell you that after you've done all of those things, there is also preventative things that you can do to ensure that you don't even have the problem to begin with. And that's all you. That all falls down to you to do. There's no doctor that's going to do that for you. You have high cholesterol, the things that are cholesterol rich. It falls to you to do less of the eating of those things, to keep things under control. You know that you don't have, you're anemic, you don't have enough blood in you. The doctor is not going to sit on you and force you to eat iron-rich foods to build up your hemoglobin. That is you, something that you have to do to make sure that you have the outcomes that you desire, unless you're a child. But once you're 18 and above and you're an adult, I expect you to use this thing to ensure that you are doing the things that are going to help you. And one of the best tools for doing that is having information. All of us today, we have smartphones. We use it to watch silly TikTok videos. We have a laugh. And I'm not saying laughing is a bad thing. It's a good thing. I love to laugh a lot. I laugh through everything. I've been through so much in my life that, those who know me well, they know that when this girl is joking and laughing too much, it means there's something actually adverse that is going on. When I'm serious, okay. But when I'm laughing too much, yeah, that's my way of coping with the hardship, the pain, the difficulty that I'm trying to address. That's my coping mechanism. Those who know me very well, they know that about me. And so I could be smiling and laughing and being jovial, but the people that know me well, they take that to a whole different level. So laughing is good. Laugh if laughter is what you must do. But one thing you must never deny yourself of is information. And especially in Ghana, I find that people that are there never have the guts to ask their medical professional, why are you giving me this thing? Why are you prescribing this for me? What is it going to do for me? What is it for? We don't ask no questions. They just write you something and hand it off to you, and you just take it and go and buy it and start taking it. And you don't even know what it is. They have a duty of care to you, to explain to you why they're giving you what they're giving you, what it's going to do for you. If there are any side effects, you need to know about them so that you can address them. But we just take it. Oh, my doctor says this is what is good for me, so let me just go and buy it and start taking it. What if it's not good for you? What if you have allergies to them? Like I have allergies to all kinds of things. I don't just sit there and allow them to have a field day. As soon as I walk into hey, I have allergies, I'm allergic to this, hey, here's my EpiPen. Because it's me. At the end of the day, when somebody has to lose their life, it's my life that is being lost, not them. They don't care. They see people not be here anymore. So a lot of them don't even have feelings for you not being here anymore. You're just a statistic. You're just another person, another body bag that they'd have to go get. And so I'm just trying to shock you to understand that your wellness is your responsibility. You have to do something about it, not nobody else. You. And it falls to you to do whatever is necessary to have the outcomes that are desirable. And so for me, I continued ingesting the Redox, was watching the slow progress that I was making, less migraines. I was able to move around, the quick recovery from the surgery that I had. My energy levels were building up and all of that. Do you know that about 12 months after starting the Redox journey, it could be 2 days for you, but I'm telling you my story. It doesn't mean my story has to be your story. Everybody is uniquely crafted. We are all different. And I've had my issue for over 3 decades. So getting to the roots of 3 decades of an issue is an issue. But I had the faith to continue ingesting for a year. One day I woke up in the morning and I felt a bit funny, like a bit feverish, a bit cold. I'm like, this thing feels like the menses is coming on, but I haven't had it for a year. So what is this? Lo and behold, 24 hours later, there it was. This thing came, it lasted 5 days, it was gone. And then I thought, maybe it's just a fluke. It just, the body had to shed, and so it did. And there's no news. Exactly 1 month later, it was back again. Same thing, 5 days done. Next month, 5 days done. Next month, 5 days done. Now I began to sit up because for the first time in 30 years, you heard me, for the first time in 30 years, my body was able to have menstrual flow naturally without me having to pop a pill for anything. Like it just knows when to come and just come by itself. And if you're here and that's not a problem for you, you can't relate to it. But if you have PCOS or anybody that does, this is a big deal, because I have never had it just come by itself month to month to month to month, by itself with no interventions. Just after 1 year of addressing root causes of a problem by ingesting redox signaling molecules that is already innate and inside of me. From November 2022, I took Redox for a year, bringing me to November 2023. We're in June 2025. How many months is that? This is over 17, 18, 19 months now. And can I tell you that I have never missed? Every single month like clockwork. I know what to expect, when to expect it, how long it's going to be for, what's going to happen, how to prepare for it for the first time in my life in my 40s. And so now I don't have that embarrassing face. When I go to the medics and they ask me, when was your last period? I can tell them what date it was, how long it was for, and answer all those embarrassing questions that I would just put my head down and say, I don't know, I have then I now have to spill the whole thing about having PCOS and la 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 and telling everybody my life story. I don't have to do that no more. This PCOS issue needed to be addressed from the roots. And it was addressed. And now, clockwork. For the last 19, almost 20 months now, I have never missed. Every month, it is there. Every month, it's there. If this isn't addressing issues from the roots, I don't know what is. I am in my 40s, well into my 40s. And I look better than a lot of people in their 40s, just like me. Even some people in their 30s would pay to look like this, knowing all the things that I've been subjected to in my younger life. 17 incisions I've had on my body. 17 of them. One of them is here. 17 of them is actually this finger. Can you see it? 17 incisions I've had on my body. There. 17 of them. And that is one of the 17 of them that I had. For the longest time, I couldn't even get the finger to be this straight. Now it's literally almost there. I just need a little bit more pushing there to get it upright and staying. 17 of those incisions on my body. It's no fun and games, you know. It's been a lot. A lot of a lot. That horrible thing that nobody wants to hear happen to them, beginning with the letter C. I had that. And I had that incised twice, 2 times off of this body. This body has been through so much prodding, poking, nudging, all kinds of things surgically. All kinds of tools I have seen. From the saw to the knife to the everything. It's been there, done that. Worn the t-shirt. I know for a fact that I wasn't even meant to be here this long. But by the grace of God, I am still here. And I can tell you for a fact that the life that I've had in the last 18 months of my life, the last 2.5 years, when I started Redox till now, have been the best years of all of the life that I've had. I am not even exaggerating because I live in this body and I'm telling you what happens to it. And I can tell you for a fact that the last couple years of my life have been the most enjoyable. I hated my teenage years so much. My 20s were even worse. There were days when I didn't even want to be alive anymore. And I was prepared to do what it takes to ensure that it doesn't happen. But I'm still here today, counted among the living, for that same reason of pushing and fighting on to see a better tomorrow. I don't know what your issues are today that you're dealing with, because Redox is in you, and so it's not problem specific. I had my issues with gynecological issues. I had issues with inflammation to my joints. That doesn't mean that that has to be your problem in order for you to ingest Redox. If you heard anything that I said today, Redox is in your cells. It's in every cell. Every cell, from the skin on your toes, under your feet, to the tip of your hair. You have Redox inside of you, believe me or not. Albeit not enough of it to keep you alive, but you have Redox signaling molecules breathing and living inside of you. You just don't have enough. Why don't you up your doses of the Redox? Supplement what you have in you with more of the same and see what it is that your body is able to naturally fight for you. Why? What would be your reason for saying no to something like this? Like, I don't understand. Redox signaling molecules has zero toxicity because you can't be allergic to it. It's inside of you already. As you're listening to me, Redox is breathing and living inside of you. So you can't be allergic to it. It's in you. Is it toxic? I've just answered that question. You can't be allergic. There's zero toxicities in your cells. It's in you. But do you know that all those other things that we take, they all have a dosage, about amounts that you can take because they all are toxic to our bodies? Did you know that? Like If you have to take morphine for discomfort, for example, the doctor will tell you, have 50 milligrams once a day or twice a day. Only take it when the discomfort is so bad, like on a scale of 1 to 10, when it's 11, then take it. You can't just take morphine anytime. You can't just take tramadol at any time. You can't just take paracetamol for nothing. And it has a dosage. It tells you take 50 milligrams, take 500 milligrams, take whatever milligrams, however many times a day for a reason. Do you know why? Everything that you can get from a pharmacy, down to cough mixture, antihistamine, anything, has a dosage. Why? There's something called L as in lion and D as in Dominic, LD 50. The L stands for lethal and D stands for dosage, 50. What does that mean? Lethal, dosage, 50. Everything that you take that is from the conventional side of things has an LD50. Without an LD50, it would never make the market for you and I to be able to consume. Why? Because L stands for lethal, D stands for dosage, and the 50 is at what dosage of whatever substance it is did 50% of the mice and the rats that thing was tested on survive? So if it was metformin, at what percentage did 50% of the mice and rats that the metformin was tested on, were they not here anymore? Now, when they have that amount, they are now able to pipette it down and down and down and down and down and down some more. So they get to that point where it's tolerable for humans to be able to consume that and still stay alive. But they tell you, you can't have X amount in the next 6 hours because it takes time for your body, when you've put it in there, for your body to take the nutrients that is going to help it, or the things that is going to help the body to be able to continue to live out of it. And the excess amounts come through your kidneys and your liver and are flushed out of you through urine and all the other stuff, the sweating and all the stuff, to get rid of it. They may tell you need to drink more water so that it can flush your kidneys and the things can come out. The excess amounts can come out. But all of these things, Tylenol, Advil, Aleve, all those things, they all have LD50s to it, and they all have dosages to it. Why? Because they're toxic at higher levels to our bodies. And isn't it miraculous that you take these substances for a long period of time, and now you get to a space where even when you take 500 milligrams of a leaf, just as an example, it doesn't do very much for you anymore because now your body is used to it. So now you have to aim higher, go for something stronger, go for something more something. And you just keep going up and up and up and up and up till you get to a point where nothing even works anymore. That is the conventional side of things. Must you wait until you get to a space where that becomes your prognosis, that becomes your life? It's like a life sentence. When there's things that you can do yourself now to make sure that you never get to that point, you're ingesting Redox inside of you so that you can have much, much better outcomes. Why wouldn't you take that? Why? Like, it's here. I have it with me all of the time. Here it is. I drink it all of the time because the more of the molecules I have inside of me, the better my prognosis is going to be. And I'm so happy that today I am partnered with the one company on the surface of this whole planet, one in the whole world. Only one company has been able to manufacture Redox and stabilize it so that it's available for us in a bottle for us to be able to ingest. One company. And the history of this whole company is amazing in that scientists had tried to A, make redox, and B, stabilize it for 4 decades and failed. Then a father and son chose not to give up. They took the information and the technology from wherever it had been left off after 40 years of trying. And they said, no, we're going to attack this and we're going to get to the bottom of it. We're going to make this redox come hell or high water. And they got the scientists, the creme de la creme, and they put them in a lab. And after years of trying and failing, they finally were able to A, make redox outside of humans, and B, stabilize it so that we can ingest it to up our levels and have better outcomes. This is not somebody's kitchen thing that I'm talking about. There's a whole facility in Utah, the United States, that makes this and distributes it to over 37 countries around the globe. This is not some chicken feed something made in somebody's kitchen. There's a whole place where it's done, a whole plant where it's made. It's been in existence for 16 years this year. This September is the 16th year of this company being available and making these products that somebody like me was able to ingest to have the outcomes that I'm just telling you about. It has changed everything for me. Today, when I talk to my mom especially, and I tell her the things that are happening, she cries because she's like, if this thing had come to you in your teenage years, when we were dealing with it in and out of hospital, blood transfusion, this, that, you were on admission in every hospital in Ghana I can think about, you would have had so much better prognosis and so much better outcomes than all the things that you had to go through because of it. And so, honey, don't sit around and listen to this thing and not do anything. Don't ask no question. How can I get it? What do I need to do? And you're just there. Just listen to me and turn off your camera and go off as if I said nothing. Because at the end of the day, you still go away with your problem. I'm still ingesting my redox and having the better outcomes that I'm having. But it will be so selfish on my part, knowing that the people that listen to me, that, you know, in your quiet of quiets, you're dealing with issues that are insurmountable for you. And I have something that could help you, and I don't tell you about it. I can't live with myself. And so I'm doing my part of telling you that if you would give redox signaling molecules a chance in your life, things will be different. Nothing will be the same ever for you. And there's somebody in the company that had a hit and run driver hit her. And after years of the conventional interventions, was told, well, you know, you just have to live with the brain fog and all of those things. This is your new life. Yeah, just be thankful that you're still alive. You know, it's going to be all right. You don't have to, you can't work, you can't do anything anymore, but it's fine. You know, shit happens. It happens to the best of us. So, you know, just take it like that. It's okay, you know, and that was that. Her mom found out about redox and said, well, what do you have to lose? Here you go. Just take this. I'll buy it. You take it. 12 months later, she is doing her own thing. She is alive. She has a partner. She has her house. She has everything beyond her wildest dreams. So sometimes when a bad door closes, an even better one is opening up for you, but you have to be open-minded enough to take the bull by the horns and say, you know what? I have tried everything. I have nothing to lose at this point. Believe you me, I had tried everything. In and out of hospital, in and out of the theater, fibroids, this, that, the cancer, that, Tomorrow is this issue. Tomorrow my tonsils came out. Then this happened. Then now they have to take something from here. Oh, they found this tumor here. It's been a journey. 17 times. And now I have this. And in the last 2 years, comparing the last 2 years of my life to the last 40 something before that, I'm so grateful that this blue bottle was brought to my attention, because it's been the best thing that ever happened to me in my lifetime. I have seen so much happen. I am so happy. And I'll keep talking about this till thy kingdom come. As long as Redox exists in human form, I will talk about it till then. And I will never stop ingesting it, because I want to age backwards, not forwards. I want to be in my 60s and still look like this, 70s, and still be looking good. Now, the most amazing thing that I love of all the products that we have, the one that I absolutely love, is the collagen. I love the collagen so much. Like, I can drink it every day, all day. If I could drink this morning, afternoon, evening, night, even in my sleep, I would. Trust me. I binge drink it sometimes because it's that good. But for me, the bigger thing is what collagen does for you. To your skin, to your hair, to your nails, to your body. The shine and the glow. This is just, like moisturizer. I don't have no makeup, no nothing. It's just moisturizing cream that I put on my face every day. And that's it. But I never stop my collagen because I want to look as good as can be. From all the things that I've been through, if I look like this in almost mid-40s, oh, I'm happy. I'm very happy. Very, very happy indeed. Now we have so many things. There's the Redox thing that I showed you a short while ago. This is the collagen that I am talking about, purplish. Has a dragon fruit taste, and it's amazing. And it helps your own body to make collagen. Because I remember taking collagen from other sources, and it was just like bits of fish, the stuff from fish that was used to make it. And it tasted disgusting. But now I have something that insensitizes my own body to make the collagen that my skin needs by itself, and it's amazing. And the latest product that just came out a few months ago, this Redox Gold thing. If you have any kind of inflammation in any part of you that is stinging like a bee, you better come and get it all, because as soon as you put this thing on, there is this cooling effect that it has on you that is absolutely amazing. I will show you what it looks like. It's the Redox Gold, and it's fabulous. Zero toxicity, the Redox Gold. I apply this multiple times on my joints, and it's as good as new. I don't use any aids anymore. I remember 13 years ago, sitting in my front room in the UK, in a wheelchair, and thinking that that was going to be my life. And when I think to those times and all the things that I had to endure at that time, and knowing that there's something as simple as this that's available, that has afforded me the ability to survive sub 40 in degrees Celsius in temperatures, it's amazing. It's amazing, darling. Don't sit there and just watch me say these things and not do anything. Don't inquire about it, how you can get it, what you need to do, and just sit around and still be going through your issue. Like, I don't understand. But the word to the wise is enough. The last thing I would say is this, is that because of all the outcomes that I've had, I get so excited to help other people on their own wellness journey because I've lived it, so I understand. And everything that I have found and would find that is helpful, I will share with anybody who wants to partner on that journey with me to have the better outcomes that you deserve. Look, you deserve to have a life of enjoyment and not endurance. God never brought you here to just endure the life and be sad and miserable for the rest of your life. No. You deserve to be happy, to live, to thrive, and have your being. And so if you're listening to me today and you're interested in knowing more, all you need to do is you can email me, sikaeducates@gmail.com. If you go on my TikTok page, Sika Educates, it should have my contact number on there that you can WhatsApp me to, if that's what you want to do. But you can also go to the website, redoxrenewslife.myasialife.com. And please, if that's what you're going to do, your phone number should have your country code, the area code, and the phone number and your name. So that when I'm chatting to you, I can add the number correctly and know where I'm speaking to you from, and also be able to add the number successfully for us to have the conversation. But maybe you've listened to everything I've said and you don't believe me. You want to see other people's testimonials. You want more information. If you type information even here on this page and draw my attention to it, like tag me on whatever you're saying, I would respond and I'll give you the needed information for you to go and do your own research about it and make up your mind about what you want to do. But one website that has basic information for anybody is discoverredox.com. Discover, D-I-S-C-O-V-E-R. Redox is spelled R as in Robert, E as in elephant, D as in dog, O as in orange, X as in X-ray. So discoverredox.com. One word. Discover Redox, all one word.com. And you have all the basic information about what Redox is, what it does, the uses, the whatever it's, the pathways that it affects, and how it's going to be beneficial to you as a person. Now, my attention has been drawn to the fact that a lot of people have heard me talk about Redox. You don't know anything about Redox, 1, 2, you're hearing it from the first time from me. And then, because everybody now has search engines or places, marketplaces like eBay and Amazon and the rest of it, they just go there, they type in Redox and it brings something up and you go purchase that. Can I tell you something? Redox is something that you're going to be ingesting into your body. You want to get Redox from the real, authentic source where it was made. I didn't just go anywhere to get Redox. I went to a source that I know is partnered with the company that makes the Redox, because I want to be able to stand by what I'm taking. And if there's anything, then I know who to hold responsible for that. If you go and get Redox from just anywhere that I don't know and can't stick my name and my credibility on the line for, and then you come back to me and tell me about Redox and how it did something untoward to you, I don't want to hear it. I am partnered with the company. I know the source where it's coming from, because that's exactly where I get what I'm telling you about from. And that's the only thing that I can stand by, because I use the exact same thing that I'm talking about and introducing to you. If you go and do Oversabi and you go and get Redox from Amazon or eBay or wherever else, and anything happens to you, it's on you. there was a time when the company decided to do mystery shopping. And somebody went and got Redox from a third-party source. I can't remember where it was. And the person had to be rushed into hospital because the stuff that was in that bottle was not Redox. If you want to take those chances, it's on you. Amazon say it all the time that you buy this at your own peril. We will not be held liable for blah, 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 because they can't guarantee that the Redox that's put on there comes from the source. There are bad people out there that are always making counterfeit products. So please, if you're deciding that that's what you want to do, you heard me talk about it, contact me and let me help you get the authentic thing that I am using from the source so that I can stand by it and I can support you on your own journey. The company has all kinds of deals that go on. Amazon and YouTube and wherever else those things are available don't have that. Plus, there is the guide and support because we are all different. And addressing the root causes of your peculiar issue is also different. How do you use the products? You don't know, but you're going to get it from a third source. And you know, some people have the bloody cheek that they'll hear you talk about it. They won't come and contact you or, get you to support them in any way. They go wherever they go to and get the products from there and then come and contact me. Oh, I got my Redox now. How should I use it? That's a bloody cheek. Like, you want me to give you the information that I have, go to school, study, and learn how it works to support you. You go do your own thing, and then you want me to tell you how to use it? I don't know what you have. You didn't get it from me, so I don't know what you have. I can't vouch for something that I don't use. I can only vouch for what I use because I know where I got it from. And I know it does what it says on the tin. And so please, my name, my reputation, it means a lot to me. The family that I come from, we don't do things haphazardly or anyhow because it takes time to build a name and credibility for yourself that you can stand by. And so please, I'm begging you. If you want to ingest Redox because you've heard it from me talk about it, contact me and let me help you. I want to see you do well. I want to see you thrive. I want to see you dealing with the issues that you have and support you on that journey. And so please, allow me to do that and don't try to cut corners. It annoys me when people do that a lot. I want to hold your hand literally and take you where you need to go and get the help that you deserve. There's so many doctors that have quit their practices, sold their practices, and do this full time. So this is not some joke that, it's just she's just talking about something. If you want to attend the meetings to see what is actually going on, because, people like us that look like me, we are always the last people that come to the party. If you go in there and you see the millions of people, Caucasians, Asians, and all the other continents of people that are on this product and what it's doing for them, you will be amazed. So the fact that you don't know about it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. It's in 37 countries globally, and there are millions of people that are on it too. So if you're late to it and you don't know about it, I just want you to know it is there and there are people in real time that use it. Just contact me. I can give you all the information that you need. You can attend the Zoom meetings and see the people that are there in real time, share the stories. There's actually one this Thursday, if anyone wants to be a part of that, so that you can see what is going on. that you have been oblivious to, and do things and make decisions that will change your own life. I love you so much. I don't want to see anybody in unnecessary discomfort that you don't need to be in, when there's something that is available that's going to help you. Take that leap of faith. What do you have to lose? You've done it your own way all this time. If it would have made a difference, it would have made it anyway. So don't just sit on the fences and be satisfied with something that is clearly not working, and you're not having the longevity and the excitement that you want. Try something new. Take the plunge and see what happens. That is what life is all about. Risk takers are likely to succeed in life better than people who always want to play it safe. As for me, I don't want any trouble. The doctor said this is what is good for me, so let me just take it like that and have my peace. Those are the people who don't get very far, because they just want safety net all the time. It's the big swing takers that succeed. They're the ones we hear about. They may swing a few times and miss, but when they take that strike that hits the pot of gold, everybody pays attention. Be one of those and make a mark for yourself, because you made a decision that has transformed not just your life, but the life of generations after you too. God richly bless you. I love you so much. This has been a long video, but it just had to be said. I couldn't go to bed at night not doing this. So I'm happy that it's been done, and I love you all so much. Have a fantastic day. Take care of yourself. Stay beautiful and handsome. And please share this video. You may not need it. You may say, I have perfect wellness. I don't need this. It's not for me. But you know somebody that could use this. Somebody you know is not feeling well. Somebody you know has been dealing with issues for a long time and has been looking for solutions to it. Don't let them miss out on it because you chose not to do anything about it. Take the time and share the video. May the heavens bless you. I love you so much. There was no messages today, no love hearts today, no nothing today. Wow, this has been the driest crowd ever, but I love you all nonetheless. God bless you. Take care. Bye.